Kirk Cousins after
Right.
after 1 o'clock. He's bad. Like
Werewolf.
he's genuinely bad. It's a monster. It's a monstrosity. So we're talking about getting Justin Jefferson the ball. However, we are also talking about Kirk Cousins. I'm not worried about Justin Jefferson. If he gets the ball, good things are going to happen. However, who's going to get him the ball? Kirk Cousins? Normal Kirk Cousins? Absolutely. That's dope. If we can get Kirk Cousins at 1 o'clock, I'm taking the Vikings in this game. However, we're getting the 440 Kirk Cousins. And when the clock strikes midnight and Kirk Cousins switches over past 1 o'clock, bad things happen. It's not that I don't trust Justin Jefferson or TJ Hawkinson or Adam Thielen. Those guys are great. When they actually get the ball, good things are going to happen. It's Kirk Cousins. I can't trust Kirk Cousins after 1 o'clock. It's a real thing. We get to Daniel Jones. Yes. Is Daniel Jones better than Kirk Cousins? Absolutely not. Not even close. Yes, he doesn't have the weapons. However, talking about can he lead the team down the field? He has. He has this year. And this year doesn't make sense. We had a team go 13-4 and had a negative 3-point differential. We had the team that was 2-14 last year be the division winner from worst to first with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then we have a team that fired their coach midseason to replace them with an ESPN analyst. This is not a normal season, and neither is this game. And that's why I'm picking the Giants. Sometimes it doesn't make sense in the NFL. It's not sexy. I'm picking the Giants because of Brian Daboll. And we're going to talk about, Molly Karam question, like what matters in this game? Nothing matters. This world we live in a simulation. We live in the Matrix. Nothing matters. And that's where the Giants are going to win.
If we're talking about a simulation, nothing matters. And then whatever happens, it's a fluky thing because the NFL is weird this season. Then what is going to happen? Kirk Cousins is going to perform when it's not 1 o'clock. If we want to talk about circumstances changing, it's like the guy who has weapons is going to win in the end. And this is the better team. The Vikings have been in games versus better teams. Those one possession games are coming up against teams like the Bills, coming up against good teams like the Lions. So it's like, if we're going to talk about the Giants, they're winning those close games versus bad teams. The only team they blew out all season was the Colts. That was the one team that they blew out all season. And then...
Oh, they didn't blow out the Colts. Oh, you're talking about the Giants, yes.
Yeah, the Giants. So it's like, that was the one team they blew out. And then... versus the Eagles, they got absolutely demolished by the Eagles. They started out the season hot, and then they lost a bunch of games, and then they went ahead, tied with the Commanders, beat them on a fluke where the ref was like, you're good, and then you're not good, and then we're not going to call this blatant pass interference in the Commanders game. So the Giants were kind of helped a little bit into the playoffs. Vikings have been the better, more consistent team, have the better weapons, have to trust Justin Jefferson. Talking about not trusting Kirk Cousins, I cannot, in the same breath, hear you turn around and then be like, oh, well, Daniel Jones has done it this season. Daniel Jones sucked for 4 years.
First of all, he sucked for 5 years. But secondly,
for 5.
This isn't about Daniel Jones. This is about Brian Daboll, and this is about Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
And so for the Vikings, how can you trust the Vikings when they got torched by the Cowboys? They got torched.
They always lose to the Cowboys.
They also got torched by the Colts for the first half. It was insane. As far as
the Chiefs lost to the Colts.
The Chiefs
lost to the Colts. So if you want to talk about getting torched by the Colts, what team tries to come back when they're down 33 points and then has players in the locker room saying, we're only down by 5 touchdowns. Let's go out there and get it. That doesn't happen in the NFL. You're talking about not a normal season. It's like the Chiefs lost to the Colts. So if you want to complain that the Vikings were down by 33 points, they actually came back and won. What did the Chiefs do? Does that discredit their playoff chances?
First of all, that was the last second touchdown.
That was the last second touchdown, yeah.
Yeah.
But they still lost to the Colts.
It was early in the season.
Yeah, okay. It was early in the season now.
The Giants, you talk about the Eagles. They somehow, with the Eagles, it was still in the mix. They almost beat them with Davis Webb.
Right.
Davis Webb. They had Davis Webb. They didn't have Saquon Barkley. They were starting Matt Breida at running back. Their wide receivers who were so bad, they sat them, and they still had a close game against them. They still could have won the game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
With Davis Webb. If Daniel Dimes is in that game, they win that game. And potentially, Eagles are playing in the playoffs this round, if that were to be the case.
Potentially. But you also get smoked by the Lions at home, and then you get smoked by the Cowboys and other teams. So it's like when we're pointing out games in the regular season, it's like, come on. The Vikings had one of the best performances in the NFL on the road versus Buffalo. This is a team that no matter what game they're in, they believe that they can win it in one possession games. They believe in themselves. They were down 33 points and they said, all we need is 5 touchdowns, and came back in that game. I get there's no excuse for them to be down, but again, the Chiefs lost to that team.
Early in the season, yeah.
Early in the season, yeah.
Yeah, this game's gonna be cursed, man.
This is the most game, and I'm with you where it's gonna be a one possession game and come down to the wire. But this game, it's like I don't know what to think about the Vikings or the Giants. It's like, how is Daniel Jones gonna play in the playoffs? We don't know. Daniel Jones, for all I know, Daniel Jones is gonna rush for 150 yards.
For all we know, he could have an Eli Manning arc where he sucks, but then like in the playoffs, he just goes crazy. I've seen crazier things. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco had the best 4-game run in NFL history to win a Super Bowl.
Behind Nick Foles.
Numbers stack up with Joe Flacco, too.
Yeah.
11 touchdowns, 0 picks. Only quarterback in NFL history to do that.